It's time for a poetic provocation on steward ownership by Ashanti Kunene. Ashanti is founder of Learning to Unlearn, and she's been working with purpose and with and around steward ownership in her role in the Emerging Futures program of the Transforming Wealth Lab of the Joseph Rowntree Foundation. So we've been working with her for ages, and I'm so glad that she can be here and do this. I'm very excited. Please, everybody, Ashanti.
Hello. Okay, well, greetings, everyone. Greetings, beloveds. Thank you so much for the invitation to offer a provocation this evening. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Ashanti Kunene, as Mike has said. I wear many hats, but this evening, I come to you as an art activist carrying a poetic provocation. I know you are all full and ready to go home after a very long day, but I lovingly ask you for just a few more minutes of your time and your attention, for I come bearing gifts. And as has become my traditional opening for these provocations, I invite you all to take a deep breath in and inhale the privilege of being in my presence today. And deeply exhale out any entitlement you think you have to the gifts I bring. Gifts which are the sacred spoken seeds I intend to lovingly plant in you tonight. And I hope that these sacred spoken seeds find fertile soil in the ground of your soul, and that they take deep root in you, capture your stewardship spirit, and never let you go. So at no point from this day forth can you say, "Oh, but I didn't know better." So for those of you with ears, listen well, listen properly. For those of you with eyes, I pray that you have the sight to see the path you have chosen before you clearly. All day we have spoken of ownership structures, of legal frameworks for stewardship, spoken of financing the future for your companies, spoken of narratives and purpose-driven governance. This is all good, this is necessary, this is the beautiful architecture required for this time of transition. But now, as the day comes to an end, I invite you to consider the ghosts of your stewardship machinations. Not the ghosts of fear, but the ghosts of forgetting why in your stewardship doing. Try to remember that the word company means companion, one who breaks bread with you. Try to remember that the word wealth refers to we all health, all of us, healthy. So I'm here to remind you to not forget, because in the forgetting, a subject-object splitting story was written. A splitting story that said a forest is simply lumber to be traded. A splitting story that said a river is a vector for waste. A splitting story that said the purpose of a company is simply to be a vessel filled with capital and then sold for profitable parts. Try to remember that these dominant narratives of wealth carry ghosts that lurk and whisper that the exit is useful. Ghosts that whisper that nothing is sacred. Ghosts that whisper that everything is for sale. Ghosts that whisper loudly, trying to convince us that the future is a colony to be plundered. But today we have listened to different living voices that beckon us to not forget that ghosts lurk at every corner of our stewardship journey. So in service of not forgetting, I would like to share with you all a message from a much, much, much older voice. It is a voice that reminds us that she is the soil from which we all build. She is the river that quenches the thirst of our industries. She is the wind that fills the sails of our commerce, and for centuries, we've listened to the extractive, rent-seeking stories these ghosts tell us and have treated her body as a conquerable commodity. But all of us here in this room, we have chosen to remember and to not forget, because we have felt the fractures in the world as fractures in our own spirits, in our own selves. And with humility, we have come to mend these fractures as stewards. Steward ownership is not a new idea, it is the oldest idea. It is the original idea of life, our interconnectedness, our responsible relationing. To be a steward is to take a vow of the farmer who saves the best seed for the next generation. To be a steward is to take the vow of the forester who kneels down not to pray, but to plant an acorn for a tree under whose shade you will never sit beneath. To be a steward is to take a vow that says, I do not own, I belong. And because I belong, I protect and I nourish. To be a steward is to vow that the company we create will not be torn from its purpose. It is to vow that the steering wheel will never be held by hands that do not feel the gravel of the road, that do not love the destination. To be a steward is to vow that you will choose purpose over profit each and every time. It is to vow that you will choose purpose over profit, even when it is uncomfortable, even when it is hard, even when faced with absolutely life-changing money and wealth. As stewards, you are saying that my company is a living part of this ecosystem. It is not a ghost ship to be captured by pirates. You are vowing that the value you create will not become a treasure to be hoarded in a dead man's chest. That the value is the water that will flow back into the soil to feed the roots, to nourish the mission, to ensure that the forest grows thicker and stronger for all who dwell and will dwell in her. To be a steward is to choose purpose over profit each and every time. To choose purpose over profit at every turn, purpose over profit at every point. Where you are incentivized to choose profit, you will choose purpose because you are a steward. So I say to you now, myth breakers, mycelial weavers, future ancestors, you are reanimating life into herself. You are breathing the soul back into the dead body of commerce. You are connecting the roots of a new economy beneath the soil of imperialism and fascism. You are planting trees in whose shade you will never sit, but whose fruit will feed the children of a future world you are brave enough to reimagine. You are taking the path less trodden. So have courage and be kind, beloveds. Have courage and be kind. And as you go from this room, bellies full from the breaking of bread together as companions, deeply feel the weight and the wonder of your choices. Understand there are consequences to actions. And really think about the energetic manifestations of your thoughts. Find the courage of your stewardship convictions and be kind with the truth you seek to live out. For in your choice to become stewards, know that you are answering a long, long unanswered call of Mother Earth. A call to be loving, to be interconnected, to be living members of a human community rooted in place and driven by purpose. This is your sacred stewardship vow. And the world, tired and beautiful and full as she is, she's waiting, she's watching, she's listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashanti.